When I was growing up, a highlight of the summer would be getting to go to Mac's Milk for candy with the neighborhood kids. We would scurry around for coins, and then we would head out together. I with the 2 dimes I found on the ground in the garage and a nickel my friend gave to me. I would clutch those coins so tightly in my pocket for fear of the coins falling through a hole that would reveal itself suddenly as we crossed the road. My fingers would glide over the smooth coin surfaces, and there would be excited discussion over what to buy and who had the oldest coin. We would optimize our coin spending and then look enviously at the big kid with the dollar bill who could afford a slushie. It was at that moment we understood that the bills were better than our assortment of coins, value being assessed through slushies versus freezies and sour keys. Nowadays, exactly 0 children have this experience. Their parents tap their cards and magically the slushie is in their hands. Maybe the child gets gift certificates for $50, but that store of value is still the same card that gets tapped and manifests into Lego. The human experience of money has changed drastically since digitized banking has pervaded our world and is the topic of today's podcast. Welcome to We Are the Machines. I'm Dr. Deitra Sawh. This podcast is for those who want to use artificial intelligence. Through anecdotes and phrases, you will be fluent in AI in front of the executive team and at the dinner party. I explain how machines learn in the context of human learning and arm you with the right questions to be asking the machines or those who are building your business machines. You will sound like an AI rock star by the end of each episode. Let's get started. Money as a concept has evolved over history, from trading goods to gold, to paper money to cards, and eventually to digital currency. But how has the human experience of it changed? For example, the saying, "it is worth its weight in gold," has no meaning to anyone anymore, unless you are literally referencing a gold piece of jewelry. And kids, do they covet piggy banks and compare the weight of it between siblings anymore? I don't think so. What has changed is the human experience of tangibility. I've written in the past, "I feel, therefore I am," as an analogy to Descartes' "I think, therefore I am." For the same reason that online love relationships are unfulfilling, the human used to use its ability to touch and feel to quantify how much money he has. Now that quantification is by looking at numbers on our online banking app. But these are just a bunch of numbers. We know how much we need to pay for our mortgage, for example, but we don't feel the pain of managing the bills in our wallets so that we can eat out on Friday. And it's this pain and equivalent joy of having those extra funds that the machines have replaced with a purely numerical exercise. This is because that is how machines comprehend your bank account. It is just a number. So now we humans are being rewired to quantify our bank accounts in the same way as the machines, using numbers. The machine does not care if you have 15 cents in your bank account, but if you had 15 cents in your pocket would physically feel lighter and be a physical reminder of your financial state. And how about the experience at the slots, for example? Piles of coins pouring out of the machine. It is the dream of every casino goer. The roar of the coins, the thrill of the amount. Now when you win, the numbers click by quickly, as they did before, but you only have the digital screen to watch, to cognate your wealth, instead of bathing in riches. Okay, let's look at your experience of money. You see the pair of shoes you have always wanted finally show up for a Black Friday sale. It is still beyond your budget. Do you click buy now? Probably. We live in a world where we get every single thing we want, whenever we want. Retail is curating an experience just for you. Why would we hesitate to click buy now? It's just a bunch of numbers. And then when your credit card statement arrives and you cannot afford it, does it hurt? Or is it just another bunch of numbers that, hey, you'll pay it off next week? And now that financial hygiene is exacerbated by the fact that you never know how much money you have. Humans just spend. Speaking of financial hygiene, when was the last time you spoke with your financial advisor? Robo-Advisors are ubiquitous in money management, and the process is much like online dating. Provide answers to questions on your financial needs, risk tolerances, and time horizon, and the machine will provide a financial plan just for you. But it's not only just for you. As we discussed in the tourism episode, you are bucketed according to your preferences, and your plan is therefore streamlined. Banking advocates emphasize that the human across the desk adds value. She can anticipate things like family planning, even when you don't, children's education, taxation strategies for multiple properties cross-referenced with the age of your children. Sometimes your financial planner can even detect strife in a relationship based on spending records and sitting with the clients in person. Not everyone has the time to sit with a human and discuss their financial plans, and those are the people who leverage Robo-Advisors with their personal research. So the onus, in this case, is on the human to do the work, which is never a bad thing. It's just that most humans don't have that level of interest in finance. Most people like to set it and forget it, and Robo-Advisors prey on our passive management of our money with fees and asset transfer costs. And this costs us also, as we see with baby boomers. Online scams, calls from grandchildren asking for money, and cryptocurrencies have certainly exacerbated the risks of dealing in alternative monies. Okay, so we have to accept the premise that spending is digitized. But where is all this data being stored? Currently, the banks have all of our banking data and invest a lot of capital in cybersecurity. We trust our banks that they will protect our financial information. In Canada, recently, the fintech companies have been given permission to access that same banking data as part of their consumer-driven banking framework, or open banking as it's globally known. This will enable fintech companies and other accredited third parties to securely access consumer financial data, and that will allow the fintechs to make updates to your online accounts once the real-time payment system is underway, otherwise known as the real-time rail, which is considered to be the next generation payment backbone. And eventually, the real-time rail will pave the way for the use of a central bank digital currency. Since you are always tapping, does it matter which type of money it is to you as a spender? This is definitely going to happen, so we must prepare ourselves with strategies to financially succeed without ever touching money again. This might mean a personal record you maintain for spending. All online banking tools have apps for tracking your funds, but personal discipline, whether money is gold or digitized, is the best way to save money. Now, let's take a moment for the human. Train your children and yourself on tangible money while we still have it. Give your teenagers paper money, not cards. We understand money in a physical and emotional way. By digitizing money, the machine is robbing you, even though you feel like you are making all of the decisions. Thank you for listening to We Are the Machines. I'm Dr. Deitra Sawh.